Happy Breeders' Cup week. Happy to be joined by Tom Hemsley, the assistant trainer for Charlie Appleby, who has been overseeing a string of horses here in the United States for the last several months. So, Tom Hemsley, welcome, and thank you for joining me today.
No, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to it.
You guys have a lot of strong international contenders that will be competing in various Breeders' Cup weeks this upcoming weekend, but we're going to focus on the horses that have been in the United States with you recently. But first, before we dive into the horses, I have to ask, has there been a favorite part about your time and experiences been in the United States?
Yeah, I mean, I've met some really incredible people. The whole experience has been a huge learning curve for me. I've really thoroughly enjoyed it. But if there was a stand-up moment, I would just say, personally, honestly, the people have made this experience so good. Everyone's been willing to help. Everyone's just sort of rallied round and made this experience brilliant for the whole team here. From the Godolphin staff, from our vets, from the staff, everyone has just been brilliant, and I've just found that really warming and that whole welcoming has been so. Yeah, it's been brilliant, and I really want to thank everyone for that. And I think that's what I'll take away the most from this sort of thing is just obviously the learning side of it, but how everyone's just been so kind and generous towards us.
I know you've been at Keeneland and Saratoga, which are my personal two favorite racetracks we have here. But if you had to pick between the two, do you have one that you like over the other more?
Obviously, I've spent a lot more time down in Kentucky at Keeneland, and I prefer it here, probably because I've spent more time here. I got a good sort of bunch of friends here, and they've made that experience brilliant for me. I joined sort of a local cycling club, get myself about, and I've really enjoyed the experience here in Kentucky for those reasons. Saratoga was fun. I enjoyed it a lot, but I only spent sort of 3 weeks there. I had family up that way, so it was nice to go over and see them whilst I was up there, but the racing side of things, I enjoyed Kentucky. I was obviously over at Churchill a little bit, and Keeneland here for this full meet. And I've thoroughly enjoyed it here. It's been fantastic.
I do love Keeneland. Last silly question before we jump into the horses. Is there any, because you're obviously from overseas, is there any food that we have here that you really love that you don't have back at home?
Okay, your Mexican food is very good. I'll give you that. I do miss a curry, a good curry. You really lack in that department. And also your coffees can be skeptical, but generally speaking, the Mexican food is A1 over here. I also tried pumpkin pie recently, which I've never tried before, and that was, tasty. I wish we had more of that back home.
Pumpkin's the fall, but let's shift gears and talk about some horses now before maybe Blaze kicks me off this. We'll start with one of my personal favorites, so it's going to be Star of Mystery in the turf sprint. Let's talk about that last race. She was second in the Grade 2 Franklin at Keeneland, lost by less than a length. Really didn't get the best trip. I think she still ran fantastic, but what did you guys make of that race, and what were your thoughts after that day?
It's funny you say she's a favourite of yours, because she's also one of mine. She's just so kind and fun to be around. She's got the best attitude, but she was a little bit unlucky last time at Keeneland in the Franklin, but I feel like it was a great prep run for her. She showed a tremendous turn of foot. She finished and hit the wire so strongly, and she's come out of the race so well. So in terms of preparation for this race, the Breeders' Cup, I just feel like it's put her in great stead. She's very talented, she's very quick, she's had a great campaign out here. She's got a nice draw there in 6. Obviously need a little bit of luck in these sprints, but I hope she gets it. And with us being both very fond of her, I'm sure we'll be both cheering her on, and I'm very optimistic of her chances.
Yes, and the Breeders' Cup race coming up, I think, she's run against the boys plenty of times before. She's running against the boys again. She's proven herself that she can beat the boys and be competitive against them. That is not something that we see very often, the girls running against the males, but is that something that is more common overseas?
It would be too uncommon. I mean, she's very talented. She's good enough to do it. So why not go for it? you know, it would be a little bit more common at home, I suppose. They do get a bit of a weight allowance. So, yeah, it wouldn't be unusual for that to happen back over in Europe.
Yeah, if she wins, I think I saw a little bit ago, she will be the first 3-year-old filly to win this race if she can pull it off on Saturday. I will definitely be rooting for her. I know you will be too, from wherever you are. So go Star of Mystery. She was 10-1 on the morning line, which I was kind of surprised by. I'll admit I haven't actually looked at the race, but I was maybe a little bit surprised that she was 10-1 on the morning line.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very competitive race. You've got Cockburn in there, you know, Barrow, Big Ad. So, you know, we're under no illusion that it's going to be difficult. But, you know, she's talented, she's quick, and let's go for it. Let's see what she's got.
All right, we will shift gears to the next race. We're going to talk about the Filly Mare Turf, which you guys have 2 entries in this race. Both of them have been from your United States string. That's going to be Cinderella's Dream and Beautiful Love. We can start with Cinderella's Dream, who will be taking more money in the wagering between the two. We haven't seen her since August when she won the Grade 2 up at Saratoga. I know she was entered and then was scratched out of a race at Woodbine maybe about a month ago. Is there any concern about her missing that final prep race going into the Breeders' Cup?
No, I'm very happy with how she's been training down here. It gave us an opportunity to freshen her up. And in Keeneland here, she's been, you know, she's not put a foot wrong. You know, her breezes have been good. And her day-to-day sort of work has been fantastic. She's bouncing, ready to go. And, you know, she's had a fantastic season out here, winning a Grade 1 and a Grade 2 following it up. So, you know, she's clearly a very classy filly. And, you know, we've been able to freshen her up. And, you know, Breeders' Cup is her main target, so it's all systems go.
I know you've kind of mentioned a little bit off camera, she has a personality. She can be a little bit spicy and feisty in the morning. Is there anything that you guys do maybe just to maintain that energy level and I'll say keep the spice manageable in the mornings?
Well, she gets ponied every morning and, you know, so she has a companion there when she goes out to the track. But, you know, that's her and that's what we want to see from her. So I think it's all positive signs when we see that sort of spiciness or sort of feistiness. You know, if she wasn't showing that, we'd be sort of concerned. So the fact that she's sort of, you know, going about her business and being sort of a little bit frisky, you know, that's all positive to me. And yeah, something we want from her.
Then your other entry in the race is a bit of a long shot, Beautiful Love at 20-1 morning line odds. This is a tall task for her, but she's kind of interesting. Her last 2 races have been stretched out to this 1 3/8 distance. She had a very close third and a win at this distance. She's, I think, maybe only one of 2, maybe one of 3 horses in the field that has experience at this distance going into this race. Is this a filly that you think is getting better as the year goes on, but also maybe getting a little bit better since she's been given this added distance?
Yeah, I mean, we know she'll get the trip, which is obviously a bonus for us. She was a Grade 3 winner there up at Aqueduct. Was a little bit unlucky last time, but yeah, we know she'll get the trip. She's a filly who's been training nicely. She's, I think she's going to be competitive. She's sort of been going about her business well there, and you know, having 2 runners in the race, I think you know it's always great to have a runner in the Breeders' Cup, let alone 2 in the same race. So it just makes it very exciting for us. I feel they're sort of, you know, Beautiful Love. She is improving, and having the experience of running here in America, each start she's getting progressively better, and that is, you know, that's an encouraging sign for us.
So it's definitely what we want to see, especially going into, you know, going to such a big stage like the Breeders' Cup, the World Championships. Also with her, you know, I can only see, when I'm looking at the form, I can only see the details of her races in the United States. A couple races ago, it looks like she broke a little bit slow out of the gate, still managed to win that race. We've also seen her in a little bit of a mid-pack position racing. You might be able to speak a little bit more on her running style back at home, because like I said, I can't see all of that here. But she does seem to have some versatility in how she runs and be adaptable to how a race could play out.
Exactly, yeah, she is very versatile. She's quite relaxed filly, and we can sort of place her where we'd like, really. So I'm sort of, obviously she's been drawn one there, so I'm sure, it was Oisin's riding her, so he'll break and see how she goes and take it from there. There's no sort of definite plan with her, so she'll jump, find herself, and she has got that versatility to her. So I'm sure she'll relax, settle, and come with a run, which is exciting.
Mm-hmm. And then the last race we'll talk about is the juvenile turf. Another race, you guys have 2 entries in here, but you've had one of them. Okay, I hope I don't butcher this name. Qudra? Is it Qudra?
Oh, Qudra. Yeah, Qudra.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's been with you in the States. We're going to focus on him right now. This is another very consistent horse. He always shows up. He does only have 1 race here in the States. He was 2nd in the Grade 1 summer at Woodbine. What can you tell us about him, and how has he been developing?
Yeah, I mean, he's come out of that race at Woodbine so well. I think mentally he's growing up and he's given that edge, and physically he's done so well. That experience of running over here has really brought him on, and he's a really excited sort of prospect for this race coming up the weekend. He's breezed really nicely down here at Keeneland on Sunday. He's such a beautiful specimen, and it's great again having a runner at the Breeders' Cup, especially 2 in the same race. I can't split them, and it's going to be so fun watching the race play out and unfold. Having 2 real life chances, it's going to be so fun, and I'm really excited to see how it all plays out.
You guys have a lot of really strong competitors, like I mentioned earlier. It'll be exciting, and wishing everybody the best of luck, of course.
Thank you very much.
Something else, something else interesting I kind of wanted to touch on, we've talked about this off camera before, is just the difference in training styles that we have here, you do back, and what you do back home. One difference in particular is the breeze schedules here in the United States. We'll typically see horses put in a work once a week, maybe a little bit longer in between works and breezes, but you guys work horses every couple days. So I was kind of curious if you could just talk a little bit about those differences in the breezing between the European style of training and the American style.
Well, we obviously like to incorporate more hills into our work. We don't use a clock. We don't use clocks. So all our work is sort of done on feel there. So it's obviously a large sort of difference with that. And we sort of like to blow the cobwebs away probably twice a week to sort of maintain them, keep them fit. Using a hill obviously is very beneficial to us, which obviously we can't use here being on the track, and we can't get on the turf obviously as regularly as we can at home, with having our own sort of private gallops at home there where we can use it as many times as we like. So we're limited in that respect over here, but train on the dirt, it's a different surface for them. Some of them adapt to it well, some not so, but it's all part of the American sort of way of training and adapting and going with it.
You guys, you said they're not timed. Workouts back home are not timed, right?
No, we're not timed. No, so
that is so crazy to me.
Yeah, so it's all sort of done off field. We'll work over a select distance, and the lead horse will go off, and you sort of join for the last 2 furlongs there, and give them sort of a nice little workout together. But there wouldn't be anyone sort of timing them, so we'll all sort of go off field, and how we rely a lot on sort of how the riders' feedback on how sort of everything has gone.
That is so interesting. Well, and so in the form, we have published workouts that, people, bettors, they can look at their workouts. It's public information. But there's none of that over back home. So the betting public has there's no information for bettors to see how a horse has been training or what they've been doing in between races.
No, it's all sort of behind closed doors. It's all sort of private. There's no need to sort of publish times or your workouts or when you have worked. It's all sort of kept very private. So, the first sort of time the public would get to see, find out something from the horse would be, at the races in the paddock there to see regarding fitness or whatever. Yeah.
That is so interesting to me. I love all the differences. I do. I mean, I really do. It's fascinating to me. I'm interested in it. And then One last question, and then I'll let you go. With Breeders' Cup coming up this weekend, are there any horses, not in your barn, it can be any race, that maybe as a fan of horse racing that you're looking forward to seeing this weekend?
I mean, obviously there's a lot of sort of interest regarding the Classic with City of Troy, the Japanese, Forever Young, like so many big players in that race. But after sort of following the American racing all season, I've become a big fan of Torpedo Anna. I think she's fantastic. She lost nothing in defeat at the Travers, and she went on to win at Parks afterwards, and I've just become a huge fan of her. So can't wait to see her this weekend in the Distaff there, which I think is going to be a great race, and I'm really excited to see her run.
No, I'm a big Torpedo Anna fan as well, so I'm excited to see her. But no, plenty of great racing this weekend for the Breeders' Cup coming up. Thank you so much, Tom, for hopping on and chatting about some of the horses you guys have running today, and we wish you the best of luck.
Cheers, Abby. Take care. Thank you very much.